Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to a great hour of NWA Mountain State Wrestling. As always, I am your outlaw rock star, the pretty boy redneck, Sweet Steve Hensley. Joining me on commentary this week is Carl from the trailer park.
Sir Karlton.
I apologize, Sir Karlton. Well, what a main event we have this week. It's going to be 1/3 of the Gift Garage, the main man, King Richard, going up against a man who's been chomping at the bit to get an MSW heavyweight title shot, Dwayne Tenney.
Well, don't you mean it's actually a 3-on-1 handicap match with the Gift Garage versus Dwayne Tenney?
I would say that we're hearing sour grapes from a man that can't stand as tall as the Gift Garage. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple other great contests for you this evening. We're going to see JC Dykes Jr. go up against Diablo Jr. and maybe get a measure of revenge for the loss in the tag team #1 contenders match that we had here last week. Also, we're going to see Bryan Kyle go up against the Stro for the television title of the world. And Bryan Kyle, you can expect to steal the show because he's certainly capable of doing it. He may be the only man on the card capable of topping King Richard, and we're certainly going to see a contest between those men for the highlight of the night.
Well, once again, that's just going to be nothing but a 3-on-1 handicap match again. It's not going to be a fair contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, you be the judge this evening. 3-on-1 handicap match or sound strategy. We'll be back in just a moment with some great Mountain State Wrestling action.
This is Commissioner Larry Light. If you'd like to see the great TV stars of NWA Mountain State Wrestling come to your town, give us a call at area code 304-673-2054 or check us out on the web at mountainstatewrestling.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to hear some polite applause from the Peanut Gallery because my partner this week is staring on as brother JC Dykes Jr. as he looks to gain a measure of revenge against Diablo Jr. for that tag team #1 contenders match, that three-way that you lost for your team last week when you hit your brother with the kendo stick.
It's not Karlton's fault, the fact that JC Dykes Jr. did not get out of the way of the kendo stick. I was obviously not aiming for him, I was actually aiming for the bandit, and he did not get out of the way in time.
Aim for the bandit or not, when you hit your own partner in a match, you've certainly given him one heck of an Achilles heel. It's hard enough when you have to watch the other men in the ring, let alone your partner, to know that your partner isn't going to cost you the victory. JC Dykes looking across the ring down that aisleway, waiting for the entrance of Diablo Jr.
Yes, the Junior Heavyweight Championship. A lesser known fact is I was the first man to hold that championship.
I would like to say that the junior heavyweight title has gone to a man I can respect, but we're still looking at a glad-hander out there who doesn't have his eyes on the prize, who doesn't have his eyes looking out in a match, and instead has his eyes looking out at the fans like you and your brother have for probably too long. I think your brother, maybe after last week, is starting to think better of his ways after what happened.
You know, really, what me and my brother do is really none of your business. I mean, we're just out there trying to win matches, and that's all we're trying to do.
Well, I hate to contradict you on that one, Karlton, because my business is calling it like I see it. And the way I see it, last week you guys had a golden opportunity, and you let that brass ring slip through your fingers. Ladies and gentlemen, our first match, scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit, is for the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Junior Heavyweight title. Introducing first, the challenger, JC Dykes Jr. And his opponent, the Junior Heavyweight Champion of the World, Diablo Jr.
I've had a great deal of matches with Diablo Jr. throughout the years, and of course no one knows JC Dykes better than I do.
Well, there's certainly no arguing with that. You two grew up in a barn together.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't grow up in a barn, but anyway.
You certainly smell like you did. And we're starting off this contest with a handshake, and I can tell you it already makes me sick to my stomach.
It's just a great show of sportsmanship, Dutchess Supreme very rules and all that.
Well, sportsmanship will definitely lead you to the winner's purse. You know what else will lead you to the winner's purse? Winning a match.
I've won plenty of matches throughout the years.
Well, for the first time time in history, one of the golden rules is going to be broken. I constantly tell you, nice guys finish last, but in this contest, we're looking at two guys that could be nicer. Dykes stomping on the hands of Diablo Jr. Diablo Jr. going to the corner, wondering how he's going to hold on to a man like Dykes when he can't make a fist the way he just got his hand stomped on.
Oh, Diablo Jr. is a very resourceful athlete. He's beaten me out of the blue many a time. You know, I've seen to have the match under control, and he just, like that, hits me.
Diablo with a kick to the arm, torquing away at the wrist of Dykes Jr. Dykes Jr. looking up. Now, Dykes does have a weight advantage in this contest. I can see him utilize that. But one thing that I think the fans would be surprised to see is the agility of your brother. And I might not like him, but I've got to say, that man is fast in the ring. Just a devastating blow to the elbow of Diablo Jr.
Oh, that's a very nice fireman's carry.
And he's got Diablo Jr. grounded. This is good strategy. Take the quicker man, keep him down on the mat, work away on the arm.
That was setting it orthodox and using his head to drive into the arm.
And the great thing about working on a man like Diablo Jr. taking away his arm is with so many high-flying maneuvers, he often has to grab a hold of your arm, he often has to grab a hold of your head, he often has to grab a hold of your leg, just flying through there at breakneck speeds. And when you've got a wing that's busted, it doesn't matter how high you can fly, you can't hold onto the sky for very long.
Oh, this is a very interesting maneuver.
And J.C. Dykes Jr., he may look like he's from a trailer park, but he certainly has some technical wizardry behind his tutoring and his mentoring in this business.
Actually, believe it or not, he's not from a trailer park. He actually has a very nice apartment.
I'm sure he has a very nice apartment on the poorer end of town with holes in the walls and spam in the fridge. That's a nice torque on the abdominal there. He floats him over into a pinfall attempt. Diablo Jr. with a kick out there, but you can see he's still holding on to that arm.
Yes. Very smart move by J.C. Dykes Jr. Working on that arm.
I hate to admit it, but your brother's showing some killer instinct that I can appreciate in this match. For a man with danger carved into one side of his forehead and poison on the other side, he needs to have more killer instinct involved in his matches if he wants to walk away with a big win in a high-profile contest like this.
Well, you really don't. That killer instinct's all well and good, but I mean, this isn't good. This is just going to be a very well-timed wrestling match. That's going to be won by sportsmanship and fair play.
Well, we'll see how sportsmanship and fair play come about this evening when this match progresses. When they start looking at the end of it, and they're looking out desperation for a victory, staring at a man that's standing in the way of their goals of holding a title. And titles can change a lot. And a good pickup, but Diablo holds on to the headlock and back over top of the big man, just holding him down on the mat there.
Oh, yes. That's the thing about Diablo. He's like a Rottweiler. Once he gets those jaws locked in.
Nice leg lock on the head by Dykes there. Diablo looks like he's going to try to spring out, and he slips straight out of your brother's legs. And now he looks like he's going to go to work with a spinning toe hold there on your brother. Brother's arms and a small package attempt. And Dykes looks a little surprised here after being in firm control of this contest from the opening.
Going for the Greco-Roman knuckle knock again.
And if we see a test of strengths, I've got to say I expect it to favor your brother.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow.
Oh!
Very good.
Diablo with a kick to the abdomen there. A nice firm drop kick to the abdomen of your brother. Throws him into the turnbuckle head first. Headbutt to the abdomen. Another headbutt to the abdomen. And J.C. Dykes looks to be in some trouble right now.
Corner by Diablo Jr. onto my brother JC. At least he says he's my brother. I have no recollection of it.
Dykes looks to be running out of steam here, and Diablo certainly looks to be going for a head of steam. Off the ropes, and a massive elevated from the heavens drop kick by Diablo.
I don't know how Dykes is going to get up from that one. Oh, snap there. A beautiful modified arm.
It certainly is, and you notice the positioning in this hold. He has the leg right over the top of the head of your brother coming off the blood flow. But your brother, with an instinct maneuver there, rolls him into a pinfall attempt only to get two. Diablo kicks to the gut, but your brother firing back here.
There's that headbutt from that hard thing.
I can't imagine how he got a head that thick. My guess would have been inbreeding, but from my talk with you backstage before the match, you can see this is a contest.
Oh, I thought we were going to have a new junior heavyweight champion at that point.
I didn't. He's going to turn him over here.
Boston Crab.
Great maneuver here. Your brother's weight bands distributed over top of Diablo's body, just torquing away, just wearing down that lower back of Diablo.
Expertly applied to.
And you see the way he's elevating him there. You can see the way that his knee's looking right now. You're putting some pressure, some definite pressure on the patella there. And that is a great move. And Diablo seems to have powered him over there. One thing I did notice is your brother held on there. And if you hold on when Diablo is falling over a maneuver like that, you can jerk on the patella. The patella, I don't know if you know this, but it's a floating bone and it becomes easily dislodged. And if you dislodge that bone, then it's all over for Diablo. Nice pinfall attempt by your brother there. I've got to say, Dykes is showing a bit of a vicious streak in this match. Nice somersault roll through over top of his victim, Diablo. And you can see the frustration on the face of Dykes. I'm telling you, you're seeing a mean streak coming out of your brother right now. He's fed up of being overlooked. He's fed up of looking like second best to guys that he feels he's better than. And if he holds on to that anger, if he holds on to that rage, I think he can overcome his affinity for the fans and perhaps walk away with a victory tonight. But Diablo with a drop kick there has him back down on the canvas. And a kick out by Dykes.
Eric Brooks looks rather happy that he kicked out of that.
Well, Eric Brooks may look happy, but I'm telling you this. From the looks of Eric Brooks, he seems to be very clueless for the situation at hand. He doesn't seem to realize that your brother is in trouble. Diablo coming out of those ropes, your brother, nice power slam. Nice power slam.
Oh, he almost had it. He almost brought it home.
I've got to tell you, what I'm seeing from your brother right now is good. He's being vicious. He's dissecting Diablo. He's taking him apart. He's stretching him. And I just gotta love the look on Diablo's face right now. It's not only pain, but it's disbelief that a man that he thought was his friend would be willing to hurt him so badly to win that title. And it's something I gotta tell nice guys like you and your brother. You have to be mean when you're involved in a match and the money's on the line. Nice roll through. A roll through by Diablo. Trading pinfall attempts here. So close. And good Lord Almighty.
And now the referee's getting a bit great.
But look at your brother, right back on the arm here, showing that killer instinct, just holding on to him. Going for a hammerlock here on Diablo. And he's sending him off the ropes. Diablo off the ropes. Missed clothesline attempt. Diablo off body block. That kick out by your brother once again. Now I gotta give the devil his due in this one. Your brother certainly came to play tonight.
Oh yes. Diablo too, so no slaps whatsoever. No slaps.
Dykes ahead of steam got caught there with the boot by Diablo. Diablo going up to the ropes, and this is where he's dangerous. Sunset flip maneuver. And the victory by Diablo. And good Lord Almighty, I don't know if you expected to see that one come out of nowhere. It's because your brother was looking as focused as he was, and I'm sure your brother didn't expect to lose there. But Diablo came out just a step ahead tonight with a pinfall victory on that one.
Well, I was hoping that JC would get the victory, but I'm also very impressed with Diablo Jr. I've got a great amount of respect for the man.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this match and still junior heavyweight champion, Diablo Jr.
A great show of sportsmanship.
A great show of sportsmanship is one thing, but I'll tell you what's going to reverberate. The announcement at the end of the match, the announcement that Diablo Jr. is still the champion, it's going to live inside of your brother's head, and we're going to see what it does to him over time.
Oh yes, but there will be more opportunities down the line.
And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
West Virginia has some of the strongest consumer credit protection laws in the nation. If you have been receiving multiple phone calls from debt collectors, credit card companies, and even other law firms trying to collect a debt from you or a family member, you may be entitled to compensation. Call Wesley White for a free case evaluation to see if your rights have been violated by unfair debt collection. We'll get you compensated. We'll stop the phone calls. Call Wesley today at 304-664-9201.
Come on, Derek. Get him off you! I'm sick of you right now! I see this ring cross. No, he doesn't stop! He doesn't want it, bro. He doesn't want it. I tell you what, Derek Billings, I tell you, you're gonna run your mouth, you're gonna hurt people out, you're gonna protect your little chap there. Yeah. That's not his belt, that's the people's belt. You know what I'm saying? That's the people's belt. People put my father locked for us. No, this is the cheat, Derek. You're so blind, you can't even see what's going on around you. But I'll tell you what, you wanna be like that? How about we settle this thing once and for all, you and I? Coal Miners Club match. You want another piece of me? How many times have I beat you? Coal Miners Club match, pal! Stick the Coal Miners Club match on the pole, and who gets it uses the weapons, and take the other out. Okay. Look at me, I'm talking to you! You're on! I know! You want it? Let's do this thing right now! Come on! Come on! Then you're next, Ricky. You're next. Whatever.
And you, Bryan Kyle, I challenge you for that World Television Championship because we're going to prove that I'm the best wrestler on the telly.
Saturday, June 12th, hitting West Virginia. The one-man wrecking crew, Bulldozer, is coming to wreak havoc on the Silver County's Memorial Building.
June 19th, Alderson, West Virginia. Alderson Rec Center, NWA Mountain State, coming to town. Bunkhouse Boys looking for those tag team titles. June 19th, Alderson, West Virginia.
Bryan Kyle, you and your gift garage, I'm sick of all you guys. I'm sick of you protecting King Richard and the People's Championship. King Richard, you've been ducking me for a long time. You've been ducking the people for a long time. But Kyle, now your TV title's on the line. It's been a while since I've had a TV championship title match. Went a little too shabby around the Stroh's waist. Bryan Kyle, you got the lariat, you got the posse, but you use my posse. Everybody watching TV land, every single wrestling fan that watches this television program, that's my posse. They got my back. So Bryan Kyle, get ready, put that TV gold on the line, because the Stroh and his posse are going to wear you out. I'm going to beat you in black and blue. And King Richard, I hope you're watching, because when we get through with him, you and Derek Billings will be next. Ooh la la! Bet on it.
Maestro, you know what? It's been said a million times. You were in WCW. What happened to WCW? They've been gone for almost a decade now, son. You need to get over yourself. You think that you can beat any one of us. I think you've been pinned by this guy. I think you've been pinned by this guy. You know what? Yeah? No, he tapped out to me. Maestro, tonight, I'm going to prove to you and everyone else that you're not as good as you think you are. You know how I'm going to do it? Gift garage style.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following match is scheduled for one fall with a 10-minute time limit and is for the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Television title. Introducing first, the challenger for this contest, the Maestro. And his opponent, representing the Gift Garage, the legit hit, the television champion of the world, Bryan Kyle!
really showing Bryan Kyle what they think of him.
Well, I got to tell you something right now that you need to understand. And you're going to hear me say I got to tell you something quite often because a lot of people here need to be told something. It doesn't matter what the fans think of Bryan Kyle. The only thing that matters is if Bryan Kyle wins the match. And he's staring across the ring at a man who's been to the big leagues. He's been to Smoky Mountain. He's been to WCW. He's been to the top of the game. But one thing he is now, while being a former star of WCW, is being a current stepping stone to Bryan Kyle on his quest to be a future legend in our business, and he is well on his way.
The crowd really amassing behind the Stro.
Stro with those big boulder shoulder blocks into the arm of Bryan Kyle. Bryan Kyle backs him into the corner though, forcing a break.
And that's the thing about the Stro. He's actually one of the best technical wrestlers in this company.
And that is a good veteran move by Bryan Kyle there, showing an experience far belying his age. He finds himself in a troubled situation. He forces the big man into the corner, forcing a break. That cannot have a dirty tactic involved in the release.
Well, I'm actually fairly surprised that Bryan Kyle gave him a clean break at that junction.
Why should you be? Bryan Kyle doesn't need to cheat to win a match.
He doesn't need to cheat to win the match, but he will take any shortcut possible.
Bryan Kyle, first man back up to his feet, standing tall over the Maestro, and I believe this is a sign of things to come. Bryan Kyle standing tall, and the Maestro staring at the ceiling after he hears the 3 count.
Beautifully executed by the Stro right there.
And the Stro just wrenching away there, trying to take apart the ankle of Bryan Kyle. A 2 count there. You're not going to pin Bryan Kyle this early in the contest. Bryan Kyle trying to get back up, trying to shake off the pain he's feeling right now. And I've got to say one thing. I do not like the Maestro, but he is a big, strong, tough man, and Bryan Kyle cannot take him for granted. Stro for the moment in firm control of this one, just wrenching down on the shoulder, forcing more pain, more suffering on all the connective joints in the left arm of Bryan Kyle. And just twists him down to the mat with authority there. And a kick to the back there. By those, and a chop.
Beautifully executed.
Good Lord Almighty, that's like getting hit with a frying pan. I don't care how you look at it. And Bryan Kyle in the corner here, Stro with a headbutt. And he wraps that arm around the rope there. It's a good solid strategy here. You're going against a technician like Bryan, you certainly don't want to hold on to you. And Bryan Kyle going to the outside here, trying to regroup, maybe get some advice from the Mountain State champion, King Richard.
Probably trying to plan his next shortcut.
I wouldn't say that he's planning his next shortcut, but I would say that he's planning 5 steps ahead. See, the Stro right now might be in control, but he's only planning 2 steps ahead. Bryan Kyle comes here, he always thinks 3 steps behind that. It's 3 steps way beyond that, because that's how you have to think if you're going to be victorious.
Well, the main thing I don't like about the gift cards is the fact that they show a flagrant disrespect for the business.
It's funny you should say the one thing you don't like about them is that's the thing I like the most about them. It's not a disregard for the business though, that is a perception that you have, a misconceived perception. What they have is a healthy respect for succeeding in this business. And you see the Stro, despite all the offensive flurry they showed early on in this contest, still can't put Bryan Kyle away. Bryan Kyle back up to a vertical base and some stiff shots to the Stro there. The Stro didn't expect an onslaught like this after that offensive flurry at the beginning. And the Stro is paying the price for his arrogance.
That is one thing I have to agree with you on. Bryan Kyle is probably one of the most aggressive men in the MSW locker room.
He certainly is. And that nice running boot to the face of the Stro is certainly going to help him along his way to winning this contest. Maybe if you're lucky, he's caused a concussion early on in this match, and the Maestro will fall down here in a few minutes, and we can see him taken out of the building on a stretcher. Wouldn't that be a happy ending for everyone?
I don't think that would be a happy ending at all.
And the Stro with a blatant choke right there, showing a disregard for the rules after telling the children that watch him, that they can look up to him.
What goes around comes around.
What goes around comes around. The thing that you've been saying you don't like about the gift garage, you like when you see it coming from him, from a man that lies, a man that says that you can look up to him, that he's going to stand the right and the high moral ground. I don't mind a man bending the rules, but the man that says that he won't and then does, that man is no man in my eyes.
Sometimes you have to sink to the tactics of the dirty ones in order to defeat them.
And the Stro wisely walking away there before he lets his overzealous nature get the better of him, before he lets his temper get the better of him. And Bryan Kyle looks to be clearing out some cobwebs right now. The Stro is doing everything he can to induce more. Counters a kick attempt, back into the chops, but a forearm smash to Stro is certainly slowing things down here. And Bryan Kyle looking to mount a comeback, sticking to the same basic clubbing blows to the back there, working on the upper body, cutting off the oxygen flow to the brain of the Stro.
Well, that's the thing though, he can pound on the Stro all night if he wants to. The Stro is not going to stay down just by hitting shots. He's going to have to do something big to keep that man down.
He may have to do something big in the end of this contest, but what he's doing right now is making ground room. And a kick out of nowhere to the chin of Bryan Kyle. And this is the time the Stro wants to capitalize on. Kyle is feeling the effects of that shot. And he's definitely, for the moment at least, by your perception and even by mine for the moment, at the mercy of the Stro. But never discount him. He's close to the ropes right now. And if he makes his way over, this figure 4 leg lock that the Stro has on so adamantly will have to be broken. And a good instinctive maneuver there by Bryan Kyle, grabbing a hold of the ropes.
Yes, but you didn't see, over there in the corner, King Richard was pushing the ropes toward Bryan Kyle.
You saw King Richard pushing the ropes?
Yes.
I saw him checking them to make sure they were secure so nobody would be hurt in this contest. And Bryan Kyle back firmly in control, and you can just hear the shots from his boot reverberating through the building. The Stro firing back with stiff shots. And Stro has him back down on the ground. And that big frying pan slap to the chest by the Maestro. Oh, and a big missed knee attempt. And when you have that much weight coming down on your own knee, even if you're dropping it, it's going to take a lot out of you. And Bryan Kyle, showing wisdom far beyond his years, as he normally does in these contests, is going straight to work on that knee that Stro just hurt.
Oh yes, Stro made a mistake and Bryan Kyle is capitalizing on it beautifully.
And the referee checking there with Stro to see if he wants to give this thing up. And Stro still has dreams of that television title victory. He's trying to hold on, but I don't know how long he can do it here.
There's no way that Bryan Kyle is going to make him give up. He's going to have to knock the Stro unconscious before he wins this match.
Well, if he has to knock him unconscious to get the victory, I'll tell you the one thing that I expect to happen. I expect Bryan Kyle to knock him out.
Both men fighting on their knees. That just shows you how much this television title means to both men.
Look at the stiffness of the shots these men are trading. Missed clothesline. Stro drags him right down, and he's got the crossface on him. He's got the cross face. And Bryan Kyle looking for a way out of the hold. He's far away from the ropes, but never discount the wisdom by the gift garage. And that is a good, solid team maneuver in this contest. And the Stro is feeling the effects of this victory. And where do you think you're going? And Cole, who should be staying out of this, is thinking his nose where it doesn't belong. As usual, not knowing well and good enough where his place is in this business. And the gift. The winner of this match is a result of a disqualification, the Stro. However, because the victory came as a result of a disqualification, still your Mountain State Wrestling Television Champion of the World, Bryan Kyle. And Bryan Kyle may not be walking away with the winner's share of the purse tonight, but one thing he is walking away from this contest with is the MSW television title. Fans, we will be right back after this commercial break.
King Richard, another title, another night. I ain't gonna quit coming. Every time you get another title, I'm coming right behind you. We've got something that we never settled. It's not finished. Your posse tried to break my hand. Did a pretty good job of it. It's all healed now, brother. You're the first one on the list. That title is temporary. The feud we've got will be forever. Watch your back.
Dwayne Tenney. Once again, I run into you, you chump. Yeah, you took my TV title. It was a fluke. Another thing, I had my eye set on the prize. If you haven't noticed, I'm the heavyweight champion now. And if you haven't noticed, did you know who I beat for this? The Maestro. I've said it 100 times. WCW superstar. Then I defended against Frank Parker. Defeated him too. What makes you think you're gonna come in the ring and take it from around my waist, punk? These boys, they broke your hand. You step into the ring with King Richard, I'm gonna break your face.
Well, you can say he's tough, but I gotta tell you, he ain't gifted. The man who is gifted, however, is the Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the world, King Richard, the man of the hour, the Tower of Power, is making his way to the ring right now, and he doesn't care what the fans think. The only reason he's walking around is so they can get a look at what they're never gonna be, and that's someone that matters. Ladies and gentlemen, the following match is scheduled for one fall with television time remaining, and it's for the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Title of the World. Introducing first, the challenger, Dwayne Tenney. And his opponent, the NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the World, King Richard! I'm expecting one heck of a contest tonight between these two individuals. Dwayne Tenney is a rough, tough customer. You're absolutely right about that. But you can never, ever discount the champion and the champion's advantage. The TV time limit, definitely going to work to the advantage of King Richard. He doesn't have to beat Tenney. Tenney has to beat him.
Well, the thing is, King Richard won the championship in a very hard-fought TLC match with the Maestro. But since he has won that title, he has been using every loophole and loose end in order to keep that title from everyone else. That championship should have been mine 2 weeks ago on Mountain State Wrestling Television.
It sounds like sour milk from a man standing in the back of the line for his next heavyweight title shot. And I'll tell you what, you may call it a loophole, you may call it dirty tactics, but what I call it is strategy for remaining champion. Collar and elbow tie up. Tenney forcing King Richard into the corner. You hear King Richard tell the ref to get Tenney off of him.
See, King Richard is one of the best wrestlers all around in this company. But he's got these two vultures circling around with him, trying to pick apart the bones of everyone who gets started at the ring. It's just an embarrassment to the company and to the business.
Well, the men you call vultures, the men you say they're scavenging at bones for titles, scavenging at bones for opportunities, you can call them something else. You can call them winners. King Richard in control for a moment, but Tenney, the reversal there into a hammerlock from a standing position. King Richard going for a reversal. into a headlock, pulls the big man over, and just cinching in that side headlock.
Tenney immediately with the head scissors.
And that's a good strategy by Tenney there. But King Richard gets out of that hold and quickly in hell, and he goes straight to the corner, straight to the ropes. And he's getting himself a breather right now.
Cowardly run tactic again.
A cowardly ring tactic is a ring tactic nonetheless. What you call cowardly, I call intelligent. And you see King Richard informing the referee of the cheating habits of Dwayne Tenney.
Tenney does not cheat.
I saw a closed fist earlier in this contest. You're telling me that's not an illegal maneuver? That's what I thought. The crowd firmly behind Tenney here.
You don't belong in this business.
Well, if you're going to tell the fans that you stand for the morally high ground, the tactics that aren't cheap, that aren't loopholes, then maybe you should stand around and be a man of character. The Giftarage don't claim to be anything but be the best and be the winners. This man over here, like the Stro, claims to be something else entirely.
All that Tenney has ever claimed he was a tough.
And Tenney back up to his feet. King Richard up to his feet as well, though. And this is one heck of a face-off. You see Tenney staring across the ring at Richard. He's mad, he's angry, he wants to come out with fists of fire. That's his specialty, fists of fire, those knockout jabs of his. But King Richard wisely staying in the background, calculating his next move. And this is a good strategy for somebody that has knockout jabs. Go ahead, work the arm over so he doesn't have as much strength.
That is a very brilliant strategy. The only thing is, when Tenney gets a little comeback on King Richard, then the Giftarage is going to jump in or Richard's just going to leave.
How can you say such disparaging remarks about the Giftarage? They never get involved in a contest unless it's called for and allowed by the rules. You can't deny it. What the referee doesn't see doesn't count. And you see King Richard there just stretching that big, massive chest of Dwayne Tenney. And he's rolling him over into a possible pinfall tip. But no. Pinfall on Tenney there. Tenney had the pinfall on Richard for a second in that exchange. But King Richard right back out to the ring. Veteran maneuver, regrouping. Once again, like he should do, looking across at Tenney.
Running and avoiding.
Running and avoiding to you. Making use of good solid ring strategy to me. King Richard steps back through the ropes, ready to meet the challenge head on. Once again, the way the Giftarage always meets a challenge head on.
At least one member reaches head on, the other two come from behind.
Once again, all is fair in love, war, hand grenades, and professional wrestling, my friend. Good attempt by Richard. This is an elbow attempt. Drag by Tenney. Tenney forces him back into the corner. And Richard is just being punished, but see the presence of mind to reverse the Irish whip into the corner. Catches the boot attempt, throws him into the ropes, slams him down on the mat. Beautiful exchange. Absolutely brutal. I'll agree with you for the first time tonight. That was brutal.
Dwayne Tenney may be lucky if he doesn't have a concussion after that maneuver.
Dwayne Tenney may be lucky if he doesn't, but King Richard will be lucky if he does.
And now he goes after that head again. And the arm.
That's right. Maybe force the concussion that you alluded to possibly occurring earlier, and definitely still take away his number one weapon, those jabbing fists, those knockout punches of Dwayne Tenney.
Oh. And then the back of Dwayne Tenney.
And Richard just taking his time right now to punish Tenney. And you can see by the look on his face, Tenney isn't feeling very well right now. King Richard definitely has him on the offensive run. shots to the abdomen. King Richard in the corner again. Irish whip across the ring. Head of steam misses a big splash though. Oh! Beautiful maneuver by King Richard there.
I don't know how Tenney will be able to get up from that maneuver.
And a move of such agility by a man of King Richard's size is not something you normally expect. But again, that's the veteran-like edge of a man like King Richard. Having mastered this business for so long, he can pull moves out that you don't expect. He doesn't have to use them all the time. He just has to use them effectively.
I've been in the ring with King Richard many, many times, and he is one of the best I have ever been in the ring with. You may think you have an advantage over him, and he's just right there on top of you.
And he certainly has an arsenal of technical maneuvers behind him. You see a nice drop toe hold into that nice abdominal chest stretch of his. Just working over that upper body, working on that arm, continuing to punish Dwayne Tenney. He's trying to fire back with those shots. And a hip toss there, but a hip toss with one of the hurt arms. Beautiful drop kick.
Drop kick, very unorthodox.
And a kick out by King Richard. I think we were both mesmerized by that drop kick for a second. It looked like Dwayne Tenney was on the offensive prowl, but as you see, King Richard firmly back in control here. His offensive game plan of wearing the man down, taking his arm away from him, making him take more time to capitalize on good maneuvers is working to a T.
Well, I was about to say that I was impressed with Richard not using any cheating tactics, but now here's the gift garage over there, putting the boost to Tenney.
Well, you may call this an illegal tactic, but once again, nothing's happening. Do you know why? They're making use of the rules. The ref doesn't see it, it doesn't count. It's the number one rule in our business. So if you want to have somebody to blame for this exchange that you think is underhanded, that you think is dirty, blame Dwayne Tenney for not having the presence of mind to work himself back into a position where the referee can see what's occurring.
Actually, if I'm going to blame anyone, I'm going to blame referee Mike Mayhem, because he couldn't see himself even if he's looking in a mirror.
Why are you going to blame Mike Mayhem? Mike Mayhem's doing his job, keeping King Richard from attacking a man that's already down and out on the floor, telling him that he needs to administer a 10 count before he can count the man out of the contest. And the look on Dwayne Tenney's face says it all. This man is tired, this man is wore out, and the only thing he's thinking of right now is when he can get out of this ring and into a hospital bed. Did he tap out right there?
No, that was not a tap out. He only tapped twice.
I don't think he has the presence of mind to know where the mat's at right now. He's tapping away on King Richard's leg, and I don't think the referee notices that he's trying to quit.
And this is a hold right here that Dwayne Tenney's very familiar with. This is the Fujiwara. This is a Fujiwara armbar. It's one of the most devastating moves in the history of anything. Very famous, not just in wrestling, but in the Ultimate Fighting world as well.
And how ironic it is that the Ultimate Fighter falls prey to a move that was made famous in the Ultimate Fighting Championships. King Richard adding a little insult to energy here, playing some mind games with Dwayne Tenney. Interesting pickup there by King Richard. You saw he firmly grabbed a hold of Dwayne Tenney's ear and pulled him up.
Oh, small package.
A small package out of nowhere. 2 and a kick out.
Dwayne Tenney didn't get that other leg hooked. There was no way he was going to finish that.
And straight back to the armbar, working over that arm, taking away that jab. Good veteran maneuver. You're going to hear it 100 times before the match is over.
Very smart maneuver. Take it away. Pick apart and take it. Famous tactic throughout the years of professional wrestling.
Tenney, I'm surprised he's not throwing in the towel here. I don't know if he's going to be able to turn the door when he gets home tonight. I don't know if he's going to be able to carry his bags.
Just like the Maestro, you're going to have to knock Tenney out to win this match. He's not going to give up.
Well, I'm going to say the same thing I said in the last contest. If knocking Dwayne Tenney's out is what it's going to take for King Richard to hold on to the title, then that's what you're going to see.
Watch out for Derek Billings right there. He may try something.
Well, the gift garage is doing what they do best. They're protecting an investment. They're going.
This is supposed to be a one-on-one match for the heavyweight championship, not a 3-on-1.
Well, if the referee truly perceived an unfair advantage for King Richard, he would probably eject Dynamite Derek Billings out of the ring. He would probably eject Bryan Kyle out of the ring. But instead, they're sitting at ringside, waiting, watching their friend, because it is a fair contest. This is going the way it's supposed to go.
Well, they're just taking some liberty. Commissioner Larry Light's not here tonight.
Nice full Nelson attempt into a armbar takedown. Just positioning his weight over top of Dwayne Tenney. Wrenching on 20 reverses into a pinfall though, and a kick out by Richard. Good presence of mind. He released the hold at the last second, and he goes straight back to work on the arm.
Staying on that arm.
And you've got to feel kind of bad for Dwayne Tenney at this point. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he has a ton of heart. Maybe he's tough as nails. But tough as nails isn't going to give him use of his arm back if King Richard breaks it in half.
I will agree with you on one thing. Maybe at this point, it may be the smart thing for Dwayne Tenney to just tap out. You know, there will be other title shots throughout the years. It's not worth risking a permanent injury to get the heavyweight championship.
Sunset flip attempt. 1, 2.
Just as I say that, he comes up with a sunset flip.
But you see King Richard again scissoring the head with his legs and follows up with a running big boot to the skull of Dwayne Tenney. And if he didn't have a concussion earlier in the match, he may very well have one now.
At this point, the referee may need to step in there and just give this match to Richard. Just to save Tenney's arm and from him being handicapped for the rest of his life, Mike Mayhem may need to step in there.
Live and fight another day may not be the motto Dwayne Tenney wants to hear at this point, but it's a motto that lets you fight another day. I certainly feel that if he stays in this one too long, it's going to be a long time before he sees the inside of a wrestling ring again.
Like I said earlier, Tenney's young. He can handle it. He's young. He's got a bright future ahead of him. You know, there will be other shots for the title down the line.
And that was a beautiful snapmare there by King Richard. A kick out by Dwayne Tenney. I can't believe he's still kicking out these pinfall attempts at this point. This man has more heart than brains. King Richard's just going to stay on from here on out. I'm not sure there's any coming back from where he's at this point. He's just absolutely disintegrated the arm of Dwayne Tenney throughout this contest.
Wait a minute. Somehow he finds the presence of mind for that beautiful power slam.
Presence of mind. I think that was in the back of his brain coming out of nowhere. You can certainly see he's in no position to truly capitalize on it. It was a desperation pin attempt there. Despite the fact the power slam was beautiful, he didn't have the strength in his arm to hold on to that leg hook.
I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Going to a high-risk maneuver at this point in the match may just end it.
Certainly wasn't a good idea. You can see King Richard there, right up to his feet, forearm smash to the head, and now Dwayne Tenney sitting on the top of that rope, waiting for a long way to fall down to the canvas.
Point. You know, King Richard's been in the driver's seat for most of this match, but you've got to hand it to Dwayne Tenney for hanging in there and fighting, being there totally.
And Dwayne Tenney with a push off there, flying off the top rope, but again, he misses the elbow attempt. And yeah, I'll give him credit for hanging in there. He'll certainly fill up time on our TV program, but I think he may also fill up a slot in the morgue if this continues to go on.
I certainly hope that doesn't happen.
King Richard has just kept such a sound strategy throughout this. Focus on the head, focus on the arm. Force a concussion, take away the #1 weapon. Like him or not, the strategy's working. And he's tying up Dwayne Tenney into the tree of woe here. Dwayne Tenney hanging on there.
I've seen this move from Richard before. This is very, very devastating.
Nice stomp to the knee. Oh! Beautiful, beautiful, Lord Almighty. Stomping down on the chest, forcing the head further into the mat, maybe driving that concussion that we keep wondering about. He's absorbed so much punishment to the head as Tenney, you have to wonder what an MRI would show.
Well, like I said earlier, this may be what needs to happen. Is Mike Mayhem need to step in there, and he needs to see if Tenney can actually still properly function.
I have to agree with you on that one. Tenney has just absorbed an almost unbelievable amount of punishment. Tough as nails, dumb as a hammer in my book. You can see Tenney just grimacing in pain from all the abuse he's taken in this match.
He's still fighting back.
Instinct is a wonderful thing, but I don't know how long it'll carry you. Right now, I think he's just got some pistons firing away in the dark string that haven't been damaged yet, and you see him get caught in a powerful power slam there by the powerhouse King Richard.
That was an amazing power slam. I don't know how Tenney keeps getting up.
I don't know why Tenney keeps getting up. It's a foregone conclusion at this point. The only thing he's going to do is hurt himself more. A pinfall victory certainly isn't in his future, and he's definitely not the one poised to make somebody else tap.
Oh, and they had the same idea right there, clotheslining each other.
A double clothesline there. They both hung themselves out to dry like their own mama's clothesline.
It's amazing. It's amazing what the thought of holding this championship will do to them. What it will do to them. What it will make them do.
Well, it's made Tenney come back from the dead in this match more times than I can count. And it's made King Richard a focused, hungry, savage beast of an animal in that ring. Tenney with a block. And those clubbing closed fists to the face of King Richard.
Tenney's actually firing back. Beautiful splash right there. Oh, and he just drops to the ground. Tenney goes for another.
1, 2, and the kick out by King Richard. And the Gifterage looking on in concern right now. You can certainly imagine that they're going to be shouting a game plan at King Richard quickly to turn this around.
Derek Billings grabs Tenney's foot.
I don't think Billings grabbed his foot. I think he just tripped on Billings' hand. And a pinfall victory by King Richard, capitalizing on Dwayne Tenney's mistake, running into Derek Billings' hands when Derek Billings was minding his own business. Derek Billings grabbing the NSW.
Grabbed his foot and everyone here saw it.
He didn't grab anything. Derek Billings was sitting there, his hands on the ring apron, minding his own business. Dwayne Tenney ran over and tripped. You'll see it on the replay.
Dwayne Tenney should now be the heavyweight championship, but Derek Billings' involvement, it ruined his chances here tonight.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. Dwayne Tenney should be in a hospital bed right now with the beating he's absorbed tonight. And the Gifterage walking away like they always do, holding the gold high, looking far off into the future like bright shining stars, which they undoubtedly are. Well, you certainly can't disagree with that after the display tonight. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this match, and still NWA Mountain State Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the World, representing the Gifterage, King Richard. Solid, high quality, sportsmanlike contest here tonight with King Richard coming out on top. The way the Gifterage was meant to come.
The Gifterage with no sportsmanship, he smacked him in the face.
The Gifterage showed mercy and didn't take his life. That counts as sportsmanship in my books.
Dwayne Tenney should have the heavyweight championship right now. The Strode should have the television championship right now. But their dirty, cheating tactics ruined that.
Should've, could've, would've. The only thing that counts is the man that walks away with the belt. And tonight, that man is King Richard, and the men that are walking out with their heads held high are the Gifterage.
Saturday night, June 12th, Hinton, West Virginia. Tenney, Diablo, the Stro, we're all coming to town at the Summers County Memorial Building. You want to see what happens? Be there.
Saturday, June 19th, Alderson, West Virginia. Gear up! Fans of all ages, come on down. NWA Mountain State at its finest! And Stro, the Maestro of Wrestling, is ready to boogie down like never before. Pop some heads and take some names. And it's all because the People's Champ says so. So come on down. Saturday, June 19th, Alderson, West Virginia. Ooh la la.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Join us next week for more great action from NWA Mountain State Wrestling.